guys, welcome back everyone, welcome back. I apologize for the extended break here, for the extended delays, but we have returned with the grand finals, the finals of the Euro Cup 2023. It all comes down to this. It's been an amazing weekend of StarCraft with plenty of matches that were held, and it all comes down to these final two players. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Oceanborn, we have the the blue. There's not even a red player. The blue Protoss player representing Team Little Fairy. It is Shameless. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the Spanish Terran, the green Terran representing Platinum Heroes. It is AqueroN. And if you're in the chat, predictions are open. Place your bets on how you think this series will unfold, on who you think is going to be the Euro Cup champion for 2023. Up to you to decide. Predictions open. Just letting you know in the chat. And here we go again. Shameless coming in as the underdog. The dark horse of the tournament has had an insanely deep run, deeper than I thought would be possible. So very impressive stuff here from Shameless, but AqueroN has been looking dominant himself. He has returned from a bit of a hiatus, going for an eBay block here on the low ground. This is a very powerful start here on Oceanborn, specifically because of the short rush distance by ground and how exposed some of these bases can be, especially if AqueroN forces the center base to be taken. As so far Shameless, he's unaware of what's been going on. Probe gets across the map, chips away at some of those SCVs, but the eBay is close to finishing, and Shameless will be forced to expand elsewhere. Ooh, but he doesn't want to. He's going to be pulling the boys. Does pull those probes, so his goal here is to DPS through this eBay. He will have a delayed expansion, but at least the expansion won't be exposed here out at this third base location. It will be where he wants it to be. So this is a brutal choice to make. Basically, a lot of lost mining time. A lot of lost mining time. This is going to force out, or typically it forces out a Zealot as well, but the Zealot is not going to be made. Just cancelling with the DPS of the probes. Ooh, we do force a cancel. We do force that cancel. And now we get into our game here. Again, a lot of lost mining time. We have quite a delayed expansion as well, so economically AqueroN is actually quite ahead. He's looking to be in a pretty nice place here, getting into his 1-1. Again, we do have a bit of a faster factory on the way here, should be going for an add-on swap, but for the most part AqueroN is chilling back at home, and Shameless, he is looking for any kind of shenanigans here, checking the left hand side of the map, making sure that there's no proxy follow-up, which is not unheard of with an eBay block. Not unheard of. Let's see if it's making its way out. We do have our Marines amassing here on the high ground, looking to DPS down that edge once it does arrive. And it should be able to focus it down. Quick moves out of Shameless. He does back off. Does retreat. Threatens his shade into the main base, so we do lift up those depots. And again, Hellions are on the way behind this. It is going to be a 1-1-1. No add-on swap is available. There we go. We have a tech lab just now starting up. And this should be Hellion into Widow Mine and towards a mine drop, but well, we'll see. We'll see where it does take us. As it's not going to be Hellion into Widow Mine, it is going to... Oh, there it is. I saw a Cyclone for a moment. I was like, yo, is he going Hellion into Cyclone? No, it is Hellion into Widow Mine, which means we should be getting a medevac here. It means we should be keeping the tech lab on the racks to get into Stim and go towards that mine drop. Meanwhile, the Marines, they make their way across the map. Back at home, we do have a shield battery finishing up just in time, and Shameless, he will hold. He will force this back. Good defense so far. There's that medevac in production. Soon to be zooming across the map. We do get the add-on swap. Okay, so we're not prioritizing Stim, we're prioritizing tank production. Very wise choice. Back at home, we have our tech of choice, and it is not a Twilight Council, it's going to be a Stargate, so Phoenix production has commenced for our Protoss player. I believe we're in the dark. Yeah, I believe we have not seen these Phoenixes. We are not really aware of what's going on. This tank tells me that we're getting ready for Blink Stalkers, essentially. Getting ready for those Stalkers. Wouldn't mind drop moving out. Hellions getting ready for a dive, but we have really good SimCity here at the Natural. And the Phoenixes have been revealed as we do shut down one of those Hellions and the second Hellion as well. Nice Figos here. As the Phoenixes do move out at the same time. the mine drop moving in. Making a beeline for that main base. Phoenix is out of position. Stalker and Adepts here on the low ground. This Widow Mine drop going to be catching Shameless off guard. He comes in with those Phoenixes, but alas, AqueroN is in position. Does zone them away. The mine drop is coming in. Do we react in time? Oh! As we will be borrowing in. No reaction! No! Oh my god, that could have been so much worse, but regardless, 8 workers go down. That is half the mineral line. Very good connections. Widow Mines are going to be split up. We do have some juice boxes. Widow Mines are split up, but they're going to be shut down as the Phoenixes are able to keep up, and they even catch that medevac as well. A good cleanup, but only after disaster, only after losing 8 probes, and just like that, AqueroN, he maintains his economic lead, and we are pushing. We're going for the kill. We got Marines, we got tanks, we got Vikings. How many? 15 Marines here alongside 2 of those tanks, and we are rallying across the map. We are not all in. We're going for a 3rd CC behind this. We are not casting Honmono. Honmono, he was just the non-stop aggression, non-stop all-ins, but AqueroN, he's thinking a little bit further ahead, and he actually pulls back. He doesn't commit. I think he could have. I do think that if he pushed out, he would have been able to deny this 3rd base, but he's playing it a little bit safer here. Just calming things down. Gotta be backing up. As the Phoenixes, they do get into the main base, they do delay the 3rd. They go straight for the Viking. Oh, they go for it, but they do not get it. Regardless, they will find some of these SCVs. 3, 4 of them go down. Good value here from these Phoenixes. Very nice value. Behind this, as Shameless establishes his 3rd base, we have some safety shield batteries. The bay is done. Colossus production has commenced. So we are getting into Phoenix Colossus. A very, very solid unit composition here in PvT. Very by the book, very standard. So we are going to be cranking out even more of those Colossi. As we do delay that 3rd base once again. Oh my god, the delays. No! We delay, but we do get caught out. Here's AqueroN. He snuck up on those Phoenixes, takes down 2 of them. Very nice pickups here from our Terran player. That should not have happened. We even have a bit of hull damage being dealt as well. Back at home, we're just building ourselves up on 3 bases. That is a massive gateway explosion. That's going to be 8 gates in total. So 8 gates charge on the horizon, not blink. We have Phoenixes to help deal with whatever is in the air. And of course the Colossi alongside Chargelots to deal with the ground army. You know, AqueroN taking it slow, building himself up here on these 3 bases. Phoenixes, they will threaten the natural, they will get another SCV. And a mule. And AqueroN doesn't care, he's pushing. He does not give a damn about your Phoenixes, as he's going to be committing here across the map. How large is our army? We're going to be hitting a time with 1-1. 1-1 is about to finish up, so very crisp upgrade timing here from AqueroN. He also has 3 tanks, a decent amount of Widow Mines. Say that, 2 Widow Mines, 4 Widow Mines even, and a handful of medevacs. And here we go, he's going straight for the kill, straight for the natural. The tank taking a lot of hits already, but it does stand strong. We can see Shameless getting ready to collapse on this position. 10 seconds away from charge. We still have to wait a little bit longer. 4 seconds. Once charge does finish, we can push in. The Marauders getting brave, but they do have to pull back. They pull back to the tanks. We lift them up. Every single tank's going to be going down. Big mine shots. But the tanks fall, and Shameless forces this back. Again, the Marine Army not quite where it needs to be. We weren't able to support those tanks, and Shameless able to have an amazing fight. What did he lose? Zealots. He lost 18 Zealots. Not much else. A couple of Phoenixes, which means his 4th base is going to get up and running. Now, bearing in mind that AqueroN did keep most of his Marines alive, that's important to take note of. AqueroN, he preserved his army. He may have lost his tanks and his Marauders. The Marines did survive. We're going to be threatening the 4th base, keeping the attention of Shameless here at the 4th, at the same time going for a double drop. But a Phoenix is in position. A little bit indecisive there by AqueroN. Stalkers are getting in position as well. We do commit to the drop. So Phoenix is going to go down. Good positioning behind this mineral line. The Zealots, they cannot engage. The Stalkers, the mid command. We do have the overcharge, and this will force a pick up. No blink, the Stalker cannot shut down these medevacs at the same time. AqueroN looking for the Prism. No! Oh, he will get it in the end. Prism goes down, drop into the main. How many workers? Good target firing. 13, 14. Almost, yeah, 15 probes go down. The whole mineral line does fall here to the drop play. AqueroN maintaining his economic lead. Did lose a lot of Marines in the process, but well worth it here. Now we're getting ready for the next stage, the next push. We have a second starport in production for Viking production. We're just getting into mass Viking here to deal with these Colossi. Eventually into Liberators. Ghost Academy on the way as well. AqueroN looking in control. And yeah, we can even push. We don't even have to wait for that kind of next step, for that next tech. +1, sorry, +2 on the horizon. +1 already done. We are going to be pushing. At the same time, as AqueroN pushes out, a big Zealot counterattack here at the third base. The mines. Oh, they even take down the Observer. Not too bad. Observer goes down. A bit of friendly fire though. The Marines do fall, and the SCVs, they have to turn around and fight. Oh my god. A lot of SCVs are going down. That's going to be 9 plus 10 workers falling. But AqueroN has been building up towards this push. This is his moment. He has been spotted by these pylons. 11 SCVs went down. The advantage that AqueroN once had, not there anymore. The economic advantage, I should say. But he still has a terrifying army. Now, as terrifying as the army is, he's still up against Colossus and Disruptors. Now, he's got a good Viking count. He's got a good amount of Vikings for the Colossus. The Disruptors, though, that is all about control. That's all about what the Terran has to offer. Massive drop into the natural. The probes, a late reaction out of Shameless. Very late reaction. 12 probes go down, and now AqueroN, he can push in. He has to be careful, has to respect those Disruptors. He's going to rotate around. In comes a mine drop. But we have soldiers in position. Where the mines force the burrow. Not quite going to be going off. Shameless working on a 5th Nexus. Can it be stopped? Yeah, it's going to be cancelled. AqueroN. Actually, we're going to try and fight for it. Oh my god. Okay. Let's see if we can. +3 just now starting up here for our Terran player. 4th base being landed on location. AqueroN, he's got an option here. He could either try to find a better angle of attack or avoid this fight entirely and just go for a counterattack here towards the natural instead. He's going for it. Thought about it. Dipped in for a moment. Going for a Doom drop instead. Oh my, picking up quite a lot actually. Okay. I like this. So we're keeping the attention of the main army here towards the left-hand side, but we do have a spotter Observer. The Observer does spot the rotation. Shameless, he should see this. Yeah, he does not have a warp in? Question mark? There we go. He's spinning off his Colossus. Keeping mainly Disruptors on the left, Colossus towards the right. With the Colossus being in position, we have to respect it. We have to back off. And Shameless has maxed out. He has a decent army right now. He could take a head-to-head fight. That is true. But AqueroN, he's rotating everything towards the right-hand side. Disruptors are pushing forward. AqueroN also going to be advancing here. We're going for a bit of a base trade. And we don't turn around. Yeah, this Nexus, sorry, this Planetary is going to fall. At the same time, AqueroN diving towards the natural base of his opponent. Going for the EMPs. Takes down the shield battery, dives into the main. First Colossus goes down, the second as well. The Vikings, they go ham. And we are camping the production. Does Shameless recall or do we commit? We're going for depowering these gateways. Oh my god, the SimCity is brutal. It's just a wall of gates. My god. But here we go. Likewise, Shameless heading towards the main base, towards the production of AqueroN as well. And we are in full base trade mode. So many SCVs going down. 36 dead workers. We get on top of the main base. We get on top of the production. Likewise, Everything else going down for Shameless as well. AqueroN does have the supply lead. Other Stalkers, some of them do barely manage to blink away. It looks like +3 is not going to finish. It's so close. The Dark Shrine as well is still up and running. And +3 is going to be denied. Liberator, some of them do make it out to try to hold on here at the third base. The last bastion of hope here for AqueroN. And the question becomes, does he turn around or does he commit to the base trade? Because we still have a lot of mining. Gateways are finishing. Do we turn around? The answer is no. We are not turning around. But can we save any SCVs? We're down to 7. AqueroN, we need to evacuate. We need to get the hell out of here. Raxes are landing. The SCVs, they're sticking around. We have plenty of money to throw down another CC, but it looks like we won't. Uh-oh. And AqueroN, he may just die from elimination. He is not turning around either. The planetary falls. And this is it. The final bases here of AqueroN. 0 SCVs left. He has 2k in the bank. He just needed 1 SCV somewhere. He needed 1 worker somewhere on the map. So not the best kind of base trade here from AqueroN, and Shameless is turning around. He's racing back home. Another Nexus falls. We have 2 bases left. And this base here towards the left and this base here towards the top right for Shameless. Here we go. It comes down to the final fight here. We have 5 Disruptors, 3 Immortals. AqueroN does have... we have pretty similar army supplies, actually. Pretty similar. The Vikings should be able to have their way with a Colossus. Good snipe on the lib. No freedom. Widowmine's going to be going down. No detection available here for AqueroN. He's going to try to stand his ground. The Novas will not connect. But Shameless, he has a mining base. He has top right. AqueroN doesn't. Up. No, good. We are going to try and trade here. Another Nova. Oh, no! Big connection! But that's all we need. Just a half-decent connection. More Novas go off as well. A little bit premature, but it looks like Shameless has enough. Shameless, he has done it here. We only have a handful of Marines left. We do focus down some of those Disruptors, but we have the better concave. As I say that, though, yeah, AqueroN, he's running out of steam. He's running out of units. And it looks like Shameless will take game number 1. GG gets called. Shameless does take a lead in this best of 7 grand finals. GG. GG, well played. Here we go. I do think that AqueroN did kind of misjudge this a little bit. I do think there was potential for him to evacuate with some workers just so he wouldn't be so committed with his base trade, just so he could have like another kind of win condition or another way out. I do also think that AqueroN, even though he was up in supply, we were lacking a little bit of urgency with that base trade as well. He wasn't splitting up his units. He wasn't attacking all the bases at once. He was slowly working through all those bases, and yeah, Shameless, he just had the faster, more efficient base trade overall, and was able to return back home in the end. GG, well played. Solid game there out of Shameless. In the midst of that base trade, again, just a really awkward execution from AqueroN. Here we go. Now we're getting ready for game number 2. Getting into that second game. Ooh. And yeah, throughout that, Shameless was able to preserve his high-tech units, preserve his Colossus, his Disruptors, more importantly. Able to take it in the end, and now we're getting into game number 2. Vámonos, man. Vámonos. We're still early here in the finals. It's a best of 7, remember that. Best of 7. Here we go. Spawning in the top right-hand corner of Radisson Station, we have the blue Protoss player representing Team Little Fairy, leading the series 1-0. It is Shameless. And spawning in the bottom left, we have his opponent. We have the green Terran player representing the Platinum Heroes. Down to this series, but it's a best 7. Plenty of opportunity to come back. It is AqueroN. Here we go. I see someone asking if there were any DTs warped in. There were no Dark Templar. Unfortunately, even though Shameless, fun fact, in the middle of the base trade, Shameless did actually finish Dark Stride. He finished Blink for DTs, but in the middle of the base trade, he got supply blocked. He got supply blocked because of all the pylons going down, so even though he had a Dark Shrine, he couldn't warp any in. He could not warp in any Dark Templar, and of course, AqueroN did prioritize depowering those gateways as well, so yeah, just was unable to make use of that. Otherwise, in base trade scenarios like this, DTs, they can just end the game. Like, they can be your win condition in a base trade in PvT. Meanwhile, AqueroN once again going for the eBay block. 2 games in a row. This time, Shameless does get on top of this a little bit faster, and I'm curious how he will approach this as well. There we go. Going to be pulling the boys. We are on Radisson Station. Again, it's a best of 7, so both players only got 1 veto. They both only got 1 veto each, which means we are going to be able to sink our teeth into some of these more unorthodox maps. And on Radisson Station, typically, it's a race into greed. Typically, it's just greed versus greed. Who can cut as many corners? Who can be as economic as possible? But AqueroN, he's going for a racks into factory. Went for the eBay block instead. Odd choice. I'm not too sure if I love this. I do like this on a smaller map like Oceanborn or Golden Aura or Hard Lead. I do like this a lot on a smaller map. On a larger map, it's a little bit more difficult to go for an all-in. It's going to be a 1-base all-in out of AqueroN. Again, his hope here, this is why we have 2 extremes on Radisson Station. Either a race into greed, or one player races into greed and the other player goes for an all-in, hoping to try to catch the opponent off guard and hoping to catch the opponent with their pants down just because they've been maybe going for too many CCs and just, again, cutting too many corners, and we go for the punish. As we have a proxy factory and 1 factory back at home, this should be Mass Cyclone. This should be a double factory Mass Cyclone here from AqueroN. We've seen this a lot over the past couple of months. We've seen Olivera do this, we've seen Dolan do this, we've seen Bjorn even do this as well, and Clem. Actually, have we seen Clem do it? I'm trying to remember. Not Clem, sorry. Ryang, that's it. Not Bjorn, Ryang. Ryang has done this. It was in WTL. A couple of weeks ago. It is quite powerful, especially if unscouted. The first Cyclone has been spotted, so Shameless, he is aware he needs to be a little bit more defensive, is going for a Twilight Council opener, thankfully. So how do you defend against this? Well, we've seen a defense against this from Trigger. It was Trigger versus Dolan, if I remember correctly. No, sorry, Trigger versus Olivera. It was Trigger versus Olivera. And Trigger, he was able to recognize what was happening, walled off. Fully walled off here at the natural, and then went for a Robo opener. Here it's going to be a Twilight Council, so we're going to have that much less to work with. Blinkstalkers can be good, don't get me wrong, but we need gateways. And there it is, we have a Robo follow-up, but AqueroN is pushing out. He is getting ready to push out. Again, nothing but Cyclones. Boys are being pulled as well to help repair. To help top up these Cyclones as well, off of a 1-base economy. It's all or nothing. Shameless thinking a little bit too far ahead. Again, he still hasn't confirmed. He scattered once with his first probe, and there we go. The boys, they're on the way. Don't throw down the Nexus. Oh no, he's going for the Nexus. Okay. Not like this. Don't expand. We need to defend. We have a shield battery. We have an overcharge. Is this going to be enough? As Shameless is going for the expansion. 2 gateways. 2 units at a time. I think Shameless may just fall here. This may just be like straight up like a build order win, just because of how greedy Shameless is being, just because he doesn't know what's going on. And yeah, AqueroN, he has arrived with 11 Cyclones. Massive lock-ons. Boys are being pulled. 1, 2 Stalkers go down instantly. And now we can focus down the shield battery as well. There's no overcharge available. And it looks like we eviscerate the mineral line. 18 probes go down. We dive on top of the army. And with that, GG gets called. AqueroN ties up the series at 1-1. GG. GG. Well played. We have a series. We have it back and forth. Again, Shameless just didn't know what was happening. He had very limited scouting information, and he was going straight into a third base. Very limited production, very limited units available, and yeah, was caught with his pants down. You know, that's kind of one of the dichotomies of Radisson Station. We either see hyper greed or we see an all-in. Hoping to catch someone being too greedy. That's exactly what we saw. AqueroN took advantage of his opponents of the map. GG, well played. And with that, we are going to be getting into game number 3 to determine who takes a lead in this series. I'm just happy to see it's a back and forth. We go. Team Little Fair, yeah. I believe it's a Chinese team. I believe they competed in the WTL qualifiers. They didn't make it into WTL, unfortunately, but they've got some heavy hitters. They have Coffee. They have Coffee. If you're familiar with of course one of the best Terran players in all of China, Coffee. I believe they have another big name as well. Let me just double check. I know they picked up Ender recently. They've got Forjumi, right? That's the other one. They have, okay, right, of course. We casted him recently. We casted Forjumi not too long ago. But yeah, they've got Forjumi as well as Ender. So a pretty solid team, actually. Very solid. But here we go. We're getting into game 3 and spawning in the top left-hand corner of Golden Aura. We have our Spanish Terran player tying up the series 1-1, representing the Platinum Heroes. It is AqueroN. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner, we have this opponent. We have the blue Protoss player representing Team Little Fairy. Once again, about to be, I imagine, blocked by this SCV. No, never mind. Going for a proxy instead. It is Shameless. Boy, here we go. The aggression continues. The cheese continues as we are going to be sneaking in that proxy racks right next to the bases here of Shameless. We're going for a probe scout to try to get a read on what is going on, and we should recognize that the racks is missing. Now, it's only going to be a single racks. We do have gases alongside this. Is this going to be proxy marauder? Do we go for a tech lab here? I'm curious if it's going to be a tech lab or just reapers. Just one single racks into a factory. As that is also on the table. Yep, there it is. It is going to be Reapers into our transition back at home. Meanwhile, Shameless going for gate expand. With this probe scout, he does confirm that the racks is missing, and he is wisely checking further in the main base. The problem is that as a Terran player, you can throw down your racks at the wall, you can throw it down in the main, you can throw it down at the natural, at the third base location, at the other third base location. So we do see Shameless is checking, just because it could be a real proxy or a fake one. He does confirm the follow-up, so he knows it's not a proxy 2 racks. It's not. He knows it isn't too committed. But I spoke too soon because we have the first Reaper out. Yes, that is true. Straight into the Marauders. Oh my. Are we going to be pumping out Hellions or Cyclones alongside this? I kind of favor Hellions. Because you have the Marauders to just chew through all the hefty gateway units, and then you have the Hellions for the probes. Because boys are going to be pulled. Yep, there it is, Hellions. Yeah, these two units work very well with each other. Basically, we can defend against Proxy Marauder with like a handful of gateway units and probes, but because you have to pull the boys, I mean, that's what the Hellions are for. It's a one base all in. One base all in from AqueroN, going for the 1-1-1, going straight for the starport. Shameless, he's looking for the proxy. He's looking for the racks. Reaper does not find a way in. It's going to be a Twilight Council opener. Thankfully, a Stargate opener, I think, would maybe kill Shameless. But we need units. We need units here more than ever. There we go. Second gate's on the way. Hopefully, we throw down the third gateway and a robo. Shield battery is thrown down here at the natural. Reaper has arrived. And Marauder count is getting higher and higher. We're going straight for the Lib as well. Oh my god, we're just doubling down. Marauders have arrived. We dive on top of the Stalker. First Stalker, it's gonna fall. The boys are being pulled into the Hellion fire, though. This is what we want. Oh no! The Hellions, they roast up the probes. And the Marauders, they can go to town on the Stalkers. Again, it's it's a match made in heaven. The Hellion Marauder. As we focus down the shield battery, there's nothing left here. Warp Gate just finished. We only have one gateway. GG gets called, and AqueroN will take a 2-1 lead in the finals. GG. GG, well played. Like, once again, Shameless in the dark. Once again, Shameless unable to confirm whether there was a CC. This is also why something like Sentry openers are quite common in this matchup nowadays, just so you can go for the hallucinated scout, just so you can get into the main base and try to figure out if it is a one base all-in or not, the timing of the CC, all that good stuff. Shameless had no idea what was happening, no idea what was going on, and was punished for it. And with that, we're getting ready for our next game. We are soon to be getting ready here for our next game. Just making sure we get all the casters in. Making sure we get everyone in here. Again, it's a best of 7, so first to 4. We still have at least 2 more. At least 2 more, and hopefully more games ahead of that. I want to believe that Shameless can fight back. But AqueroN, he's finding a lot of success here with these proxies and with these cheeses. With these one-base all-ins, essentially. 2 games in a row now. Do we do it 3? I wouldn't be opposed to it. I would not be opposed to it here on Hard Lead. Oh boy. I can see the stream catching up. See Tommy gun. But aye. We didn't even get to see the man with gun this game. We didn't even get to see him. Didn't even see him, but here we go. Hard Lead is going to be coming up next. And can Shameless fight back, or will we get to match point? Will we near the end of the series, as spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Hard Lead, we have the Green Terran player from the land of Spain, representing the Platinum Heroes, leading the series 2-1. It is AqueroN. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the Blue Protoss player, representing Team Little Fairy. It is Shameless. He's one of the little fairies. Let's go. Let us go. And once again, SCV is being sent out onto the map here immediately, and it is being rallied right into the natural base. Now, this is looking like, once again, an eBay block. An engineering base should be on the way. Rax is thrown down back at home instead. But AqueroN is looking to disrupt the economy here of the Protoss. Again, we're going the long way around just so we can avoid the scouting probe. As we do slip in, and we do throw down that eBay. eBay is on the way. And with this, again, we ideally hope to force the unnatural natural, but Shameless has been one to just react and just pull the boys and just accept his fate and take a later expansion. Did even occur on Oceanborn, bear that in mind. Yeah, boys are going to be pulled. We pull the boys, we focus on the eBay, and eventually we'll expand. Eventually. So a nice start for our Terran player. See in chat, it just really sucks working so hard for the first win then losing it. Yeah, I mean, this is also why, like, when it comes to competing in StarCraft, like, there's a lot that comes into play, and some of it is mindset, right? Because in a game like StarCraft, cheese is a thing, and of course cancel. Like, cheese is a thing, and aggression and proxies are things, and you have to make sure that you're able to, like, stay calm, right? Like, because it can be frustrating, right? Like, it can be frustrating to, like, win a solo, like, macro game, and then bam, like, in 5 minutes, you're down 2 games. It's like, it can be frustrating. So you got to be able to, like, take a breath when you need it. Just take a breath, calm down, reset mentally a little bit, and get into your game. I'm sure Shameless is aware that, hey, I just get me into the mid game, get me into 3-base economy. You know, that's all I need. Get me a 3rd, and I can take it. I can win some games. I can fight back. But Will his opponent let him? Because this is going to be a Rax expand into 2 more Raxes. It's going to be a 3 Rax build here from AqueroN. Once again, aggression. Now, this is not an all-in. This could turn into an all-in, but for this, we're basically going to be building up a bio army. We're going to be hitting a very strong timing with Stim. Stim is going to be on the way. We're going to be hitting before medevacs, before factory production, which means we're going to have very limited Stims available. Ooh, Shameless opening up very safe. He has been scarred. We're going for a Robo opener. We spoke about this earlier. Basically, the most standard openers here in this matchup are Twilight Council and Stargate, and what they both provide, the Stargate provides Phoenixes, the Twilight Council provides Blink Stalkers. They allow you to gain map control, they help you shut down drops, they help you be aggressive, pick away at the economy, blink into the main, for example, thread and dives. They allow you to be really active. And it's what Shameless has been trying to go for previously in this series. Here a Robo opener leads into Fast Immortals. We could throw down 2 more gateways and go for we could throw down like a 3rd gateway and go for a Prism and be active across map, but there it is. Immortal production has commenced. This is a very safe way to play, very defensive. This does lead into a faster Robotics Bay and faster Colossus production. This is true. It leads you into faster Colossus, but again, you're just stuck at home. You're stuck at home defending, and eventually you can be active in the mid game. Now, what I will say, fun fact, Robo opener into a Colossus is a hard counter to 3 Raxes. So this is very defensive, very safe play, and it's going to work out, assuming that we throw down a Bay like now. 1 Colossus is enough to shut this down. The Observer rocks up. We do get eyes on the Bio Army. 2nd Immortal's on the way, but where is the Bay? We confirm the 3 Rax. Observer confirms everything. We are aware of what's going on. We already have 1 shield battery in position. There's the Bay is delayed. Usually you get 1 Immortal, then the Robotics Bay. So this is going to be a little bit late. This means that the first Colossus won't be out in time. So a little bit disjointed here from Shameless. But here comes the army of AqueroN. Again, we have a standing force here from Shameless. Shameless, he knows everything that's happening. He knows everything that's going on. All we have to do is survive. The execution, the force fields. We dive in. Where's the Evercharge? Up! As we focus down that shield battery, we dive on top of the army, focus down the first Immortal. First Immortal goes down, but it looks like we should clean this up. We go straight for the mineral line, and we get a handful of probes. He wants more. So far, 5 workers, 6 workers go down. 6 probes do fall, and the army is going to be forced out. And this is okay. Like Shameless, again, he survives. He holds. You know, the Robo opener is defensive for a reason. It allows you to have those Immortals help defend, and eventually the Colossus, of course. Accidental Lens is on the way. Colossus production soon to be on the way as well. And Shameless can take a 3rd. I would say here that Shameless is in a decent position. Pretty good position, actually. Just because he gets into these fast Colossi. Meanwhile, back at home, AqueroN is doubling down. This isn't 3 Raxes. We are going up to a 4th and a 5th Rax as well. This could lead into a 2-base all-in. The Observer catches wind of some of this, but we don't go far enough in to see these Raxes, and it looks like AqueroN, does he see the Shimmer? He does! He shuts down the Observer. Big pick-off. Shameless didn't see the additional Raxes here. The longer this goes on, the more I'm concerned this is going to be a 2-base all-in. Still no 3rd base here. Still no 3rd CC from AqueroN. We'll see. We'll see how hard he commits. As it looks like we do come across this Adept. Colossi coming out. And Shameless just getting in position here. Shield battery is thrown down at the 3rd. Yeah, splitting up here between the bases and maybe anticipating a drop into the main. But again, the scan reveals the army, and AqueroN, he should know that he cannot touch this Colossus yet. Not yet. Still no 3rd, by the way. Still no 3rd. As we dive into the mineral line, no shot. He gets into the natural base. And so many probes go down. We had 6 worker kills earlier, and now we are up to 23. Oh my god, the Marines, they went ham. Meanwhile, at the same time, we dive on the right-hand side. We pick off the Immortal, and AqueroN, he is pulling Shameless apart. He takes down the shield battery as well. And I think this would be a good moment, actually, to actually commit and pull the boys. Like, we are ahead enough, but no. Hello, Mr. SCV. Show us the 3rd. There it is. Third TC is on the way. AqueroN is working towards a mid game. He's not going to go for the gamble of pulling the boys and going all in. He's going for a more secure victory. And I think this is a wise choice. I think both could work right now. But going for a third shows us that, hey, I've dealt enough damage. I know that I'm ahead. I can just maintain my economic lead. True. AqueroN, he is ahead in workers plus mules as well. So really good multi-prong harassment here. Really good split pushes. AqueroN in a much better position. Now the mid-vat hasn't spotted by these observers. See AqueroN threatening a dive into the main base. The unit's not quite in position. We're at the natural, not in the main. Looks like we don't get into the mineral line, but we will depower some of these gateways. Oh my god, so many of them actually. Pick up a stalker. We force the blink back, which means we can escape. Can escape at the same time. AqueroN hitting up some of these spotted pylons, reinforcing here in the center of the map, keeping his army hidden. Shameless gonna try and push forward here. He's up to 3 Colossus, but no! Late reaction! First Colossus, it barely does survive. Oh my god, the kiting! The mine shots! Big mine shots here on these zealots. Charge is just not done, but it looks like we should be able to force this back. At the same time, though, double jump into the main. Probes are falling. We do have some stalkers in position. But again, Shameless, he is struggling to hold on. The Colossus, they're exposed! They are exposed. One goes down, a second goes down as well. And it looks like this is just snowballing out of control. GG gets called, and AqueroN, he will take a lead in this series. One game away from becoming Euro Cup 2023's champion. Oh my god. So in the chat, he's shameless. He doesn't care if his pants are down. True. that does make sense. That does make sense. No shame, Papi. No shame. I'm jealous. Yeah. As we're getting ready for potentially the final game here, I'm asking for game heart. We didn't have it last game, and hopefully we can get it for this one. Fingers crossed. Beautiful. We do have our game being set up here. Again, it's going to be on site Delta for game number 4. Again, AqueroN, he needs uno más, one more to win it all here. One more to win it all. Shameless, he has to fight back here and now. And again, it wasn't a bad start going for the robo opener. The execution of the robo opener was a little bit, a little bit shaky there. But regardless, we held against the 3-backs. We got up to 3 bases. We got up to a Colossus count. But even though we had the tools to defend, we had AqueroN with map control just pull apart his opponents. Just constant drop play, marine run-bys as well. Just running right into the natural at one point. And getting an insane amount of economic damage. Like, it was just a little bit too much for Shameless to bear. He was pulled apart. And that was impressive. That was very impressive by AqueroN to be able to, again, have the multitasking to pull that off. And with that, AqueroN, yeah, he has been the dominant force here in these finals, in this tournament. Again, he took down the other favorite player. Took down Wayne earlier. Took down so many big names to make it this far. Can he be stopped? I'm hoping we can get a little bit more out of these players, but it's not on me. It's on Shameless here. Here we go. As we load into potentially the final game of this series. The dawn of a new age. The age of AqueroN. Vamonos, papi, vamonos. And here we go, spawning in the top left-hand corner of Site Delta. We have the blue Protoss player here representing Team Little Fairy. He has to fight back here and now. He needs your support in the chat to give us some more games to extend the series here. That's all I want. It is Shameless. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the green Terran player representing the Platinum Heroes. It is AqueroN. One game is all he needs, and Shameless, he's had enough. He's been trying his best here to just play by the book, you know, just playing standard, playing normal, just trying to get into the mid game, into the late game, you know, trying to play straight up here against his opponents. But the mask is off and the clown makeup comes out. We're going for a proxy 2 game. Let's go. The turns have tabled. The gateways have been thrown down. Shameless coming in for what looks to be a normal probe scout to tase away at this SCV. AqueroN going for a Rax back at home. Additional SCVs are forced out of the mineral line as well. AqueroN sending out his SCV across the map. Not checking nearby here for any proxies. No reason to. Again, Shameless has been playing standard this entire time. But I think he just remembered what his name is. I think he's like, I'm not shameful. I'm shameless. Of course. What am I doing? There we go. Twilight Council's on the way. We're gonna be starting off with of course double zealots. Once the Twilight Council. Cybercore's on the way. Once the Cybercore finishes up, we can then get into Adepts and Stalkers. The goal here is to delay this natural base. Factory on the way as well. Ooh, the Reaper has arrived. We should be able to shut down this probe. And the Zealots, they force a cancel on the natural. That is what we needed. That is what we wanted. And we ignore the Reaper. We go straight for that ramp as well. Wall is on the way. We do cancel the reactor as well. Pretty good damage so far. Again, these Reapers, they take a lot of... these Zealots, they take a lot of Reaper hits. They are quite tanky. They're trying to delay the factory. And it looks like we can. We get a kill on the SCV. One SCV goes down. Second as well. Just zoning those workers away, and we have to pull even more. Additional Zealots are arriving. They are arriving. Factory does finish. Cyclone in production. And when the Cyclone arrives, that will be the end of this rush. And Shameless is going to have to transition back at home. But now they're still committed. Marines are being squeezed out here as well. The first Zealot will finally fall. Only 2 Zealots left. The Stalker has arrived, but we need the Stalker here and now. Another Zealot goes down. And it looks like Shameless, he's running out of steam here. He's taking down the Marines, yes, but everything changes when the Cyclone rocks up. And immediately Shameless gets the hell out of there. He did well for himself. He delayed the factory. He forced a cancel on the Reaper, on the reactor, on the CC. Stalkers are on the way. And now we expand. Do you have the expansion back at home? Can we focus on that Cyclone? He's going for it. Up! He goes for the dive. Automas. He does take down the Cyclone just barely in time. There's one Marine left. But another Cyclone is about to pop out. We can delay the CC. Take down a worker. He wants the Cyclone. Automas. One more shot. One more hit and he gets it. The final Cyclone goes down. GG gets called. Shameless. He does it. He pulls it off and he fights back, taking another game. GG. Oh my god. Whew. I'm here for it. GG, well played. Shameless barely breaks the back here of AqueroN. Barely shuts down the Marines. The Cyclones as well. They were so close to surviving. And Shameless barely shut them down. And with that, the series continues. The finals continue. Here we go. No shame, no gain. Protoss is tired of all this honorable macro crap. He's sick and tired of it, you know? He's been trying to reform. He's been trying to to be like everyone else. No, Pappy, no. Embrace it, Pappy. Embrace it. Here we go. We're getting into our next game. Game number 2. According to Shameless, he prefers the macro style play. Look, it doesn't matter what he prefers. It matters what he's good at, okay? He's trying to reject who he really is inside. And what is he? Shameless. Let's go. As our next game is going to be taking place on Hecate. And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Hecate, we have the green Terran player from the land of Spain, representing the Platinum Heroes, still one game away from becoming our Euro Cup champion. It is AqueroN. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the blue Protoss player. Fighting back here in that last game, making a series out of this, representing Team Little Fairy. It is Shameless. Okay, well, any cheese will do. I'm down for it. Whatever we can whip out, Papi. Just get the win. That's all we need. Here we go. We're getting into a bit of a larger map, a bit of a wider map as well. It can be a little bit more difficult to actually make proxies and cheese work here, as we do have a gate expand setup. This time Shameless, keeping everything back at home, is going for a probe across the map with a very interesting location here. This is looking like a proxy Stargate. Again, look, let's go. Pylon is on the way. Cybercore is thrown down. This is a prime location for a Stargate, but we'll see. We'll see what he does commit to. Meanwhile, AqueroN, likewise, going for a regular SCV scout across the map. Trying to get a read on what is going on. The juice box! I don't know if you've noticed, but Shameless, he's been on point with his sprays. Stay hydrated, everyone. Stay hydrated. Drink plenty of juice. And water. SV comes in. We should be taking note that the pylon is missing. Second pylon is not where it should be, and there it is. There is that Stargate on the way. So this should not be a committed proxy here, as the probe is going to be going in for a scout. Everything is looking normal. AqueroN did go for a Rax expand CC on the high ground, by the way, so very safe play this time from our Terran player. He has been scarred. He has dropped a map, so he is not taking any chances expanding on the low ground. So very safe play here from the Terran. Oh, we come across it. The Reaper makes a beeline here for the right-hand side. We have found the proxy Stargate. This was for an Oracle. We could still commit. Oh, that's another pylon. Void Ray? No shot. If we throw down another pylon like this, this could be a Void Ray instead of the Oracle. It is. Let's go. Proxy Void Ray has been scouted, but AqueroN already has Cyclones on the way. So the way this works, shield batteries. We're going to be throwing down shield batteries here, and we're going to be trying to lay siege upon this production with the Void Rays. Plural. Many Void Rays are going to be upon us. We need anti-air. Bunker is on the way. Marines, Cyclones. I'm concerned because the production is looking very exposed. It is right next to the shield battery, so there's going to be a very tough hold here for AqueroN. On top of that, Cyclones have much less range than they used to, so it's going to be a little bit more difficult to actually get on top of those Void Rays, but they have a lot of DPS. Oh my, we're taking a chance! Instead of going for a second Cyclone, Widowmine. If the Widowmine connects, we can kill a Void Ray. So this is a really risky maneuver, but it can pay off. Meanwhile, that's a lot of shield batteries. Jeez, oh my god. That's 5 shield batteries on the way. 1 done, 4 in production. And Eps are going to try to push on in, but again, the mine! The Widowmine does get wasted on the Adept, not on the Void Ray. Cyclone goes down. Can we can deny this? We can deny that bunker. The first bunker out of range. Yeah, SCV is going to go down. We do cancel that bunker. So far, so good. Shameless gaining ground. And as I mentioned before, this factory is a little bit too close to the edge, and it will be punished. Oh, the Widowmine, though. We have to respect it. We need to try to bait it out. Oh, no! Oh, it's gonna connect. That was a bold move here. The Widowmine survives. Oh, that wasn't really worth it. That was tanking the Widowmine to the face. Not like this. We can tank another, to be fair, but this is really risky stuff here from Shameless. There we go. We have the prismatic alignment. We can focus down that bunker. Bunker is going to go down. Don't go too close. The Winter Mines. No, the Winter Mines. They go off. They shut down the Void Rays. Big overextension. That was what AqueroN was hoping for. He lures in the Void Rays, and that may just be it. That may, like, there was potential. There was so much potential. So many shield batteries here as well, but the Winter Mines, they popped off. Shameless not paying attention, not babysitting his Void Rays. Another Stalker goes down. The Winter Mines, again, it was a very risky maneuver here for AqueroN, but it may have just won him the game. May have just won him the game. Here we go. Oh, oh my god. We're going to try and keep doing it. We're going to try and pull this off here despite losing a little momentum. Blink is on the way. We're going to head towards Blink Stalkers instead of Void Rays. Interesting choice. How many gateways? We do have 2 gateways up and running so far. We're going to try and rotate over towards the left-hand side. Can we find a better angle of attack? Can we still pull this off? Tank is in production, but the tank isn't out yet. But we still have Winter Mines all over the place. No! Oh my god. The Winter Mines. Ay, ay, ay. Be careful, Papi. Be careful. At the same time, Viking harass. These Vikings are going to be landing in these mineral lines. No shield battery. And Vikings do a surprising amount of damage to probes. They annihilate probes. We're going for a ninja base with the juice box. Ninja base is on the way, but the Vikings, they're waddling in. And we deny all mining. 0 mining here in the main base. Forcing a recall on some of this army. Vikings, they lift. They get the hell out of there. Oh, we get one. To get 1 Viking, we can go back to mining here at the natural. So Shameless, his goal to contain. No longer is it to put, like, we can't push in. No longer. There's Winter Mines, there's tanks. We cannot break the main base. We cancel the ninja, but never mind. We're taking a regular base. Okay. I was hoping we were going to be committing here, but no, we are going to be canceling because of the Viking pathing, and we are taking the standard base instead. But again, as I was mentioning, the goal is to contain the Terran, and try to get ahead economically. That's the current goal for Shameless. Contain and get ahead. Problem is that this army is becoming terrifying. He's slowly getting out of control. Across the map, oh my god, so many, a marauding squad of Vikings. They land here in the main base. They take down 6 more workers. Thankfully, the natural base is about to finish, but this is brutal. We shut down, we depower everything in the main. Stalkers are going to be rocking up. They should shut this down. Vikings, can we lead? Take down 2. But again, the Stalkers, they had to come back home. You know what that means? That means we can break out. We can break out. The Stalkers are nowhere to be found. The Vikings, they had to pay for this with their lives, but they did a lot of economic damage, and they allow AqueroN to expand at his natural location. His tank line is looking solid, his Winter Mines as well. AqueroN, he's ahead economically, has more SCVs, has mules. Oof. Good blinks. Good blinks out of Shameless. Does avoid disaster. Avoid disaster there, shutting down some of those Winter Mines. He can't really push in because of the tank line. At least he still has, you know, some setup here. Oh no, the Void Ray! 1 more shot. The Void Ray goes down. Oof, brutal loss. We're going for a Dark Shrine. DTs, okay, just do it all. Just whip it all out. See what sticks. Throw it all against the wall, against the Terran. When behind a Dark Shrine. To be fair, we are muling quite heavily, so we have enough energy here for a scan, to be fair. eBay is on the way. Once it's done, we should be throwing down a safety missile turret here at the natural. AqueroN, his goal here to try to catch these Stalkers. Yeah, the surround has been set up. Basically, we force a blink back, and then the Marines are waiting. There's the blink, there's the stim, and the Stalkers, they get caught out. So many of them going to be going down. Massive trap, massive trade. That was 6 Stalkers for 1 Marine. We do have a Dark Templar. The DTs, they're going for it. Meanwhile, AqueroN going for a big push across the map. We can scan, but we need some Marines. SCVs are falling. There we go. We go for the scan in the main base. The DT escapes. It does escape in the end. We also need scans across the map as well. This is going to get kind of awkward. Here we go. We do shut down the natural. Dark Templar are wreaking havoc. They force a lift at the main base. 12 probes have gone down. We do have a scan available. AqueroN even pulling the boys as well. He does come across the Dark Shrine. It's going to go down. No more DTs. No more Dark Templar. He is breaking into the main base, but we have a turret. We have a missile turret, and GG gets called. The base trade will not work. The Dark Templar are not enough, and AqueroN, he will take the series 4-2, becoming our 2023 Euro Cup champion. GG. GG, well played. Congratulations to AqueroN for having a pretty dominant performance here. Again, not just in the finals, but in the tournament itself. He took down some big names. He took down young Yakov. He took down Wayne. And he took down Shameless as well. A really powerful run here from our Terran player, and it's really good to see him again. I want to double check something because I don't want to run like a false narrative, but from my understanding, AqueroN, he took a big break. From my understanding, for most of this year, he wasn't really active. Let me just double check that, because I know that he just, it felt like he kind of disappeared. He wasn't really competing and playing in too many tournaments, but maybe I was just missing that. Let me just double check. No, yeah, exactly. So fun fact. Wait, let me just double check. Yeah, there's a massive gap here. So we had AqueroN competing in May. We had him competing in May. He competed in ESL Masters EU, in ESL Masters Summer Europe, and then there's a 5-month gap, 5 months where he didn't play in anything, and then he came back in October playing in the European Winter qualifiers. That's what I mean, right? Like he just disappeared. He only showed up for ESL Summer, then ESL Masters Winter. There was a 5-month gap where he just wasn't playing in anything, and yeah, he came back, and he came back recently, showed up here for the Euro Cup, and yeah, he took it all. Even then, there was also a gap in between ESL Masters Winter and the Euro Cup. You know, this kind of brought him out of retirement in a way. So yeah, and I appreciate it. You know, I appreciate seeing him again. He used to be very active. He was a very active player in 2022. 2022, my eyes were on AqueroN. He was like the rising star. I was expecting big things leading into 2023, but he just kind of disappeared. He stopped competing, stopped playing, wasn't as active as he once was, and now he's back with a vengeance, and these are some damn powerful results. So very impressive stuff. GG, well played. Good to see you back, Pap. Good to see you back, AqueroN. GG. Good to see you back. And congratulations as well. Oh, maybe he was like hibernating. Maybe he was like, you know, just building up his power and then eventually unleashing it upon all of us. That was beautiful. Predictions are going to get paid out. And yeah, with that, that would be the end of our broadcast here. But I have something special. I have something a little bit special. It's a little bit less, maybe for some people a little bit less exciting, but I have replays. I have replays from the upper semifinals that we missed. Remember, the event started while we were casting the finals of Sparkling Tuna Cup. The event did commence while we were busy with Hon Mono versus Nice, which meant that we missed out on the first semifinals. But I have the replays, and I am more than willing to dive into them. Again, we are aware for the most part of the outcome, but I'm still excited to cast the games, and I want to see what happened. I'm very curious to see what happened in that best of 5 between AqueroN and Wayne. I'm very excited. We're gonna have to take a moment here to set things up and to take a break, and I'm gonna refill my water and all that stuff. So there's gonna be a bit of a break in between, but we will be getting into the upper semifinals to find out what happened and to find out how that all went down. Before we get into that, I want to give a special shout out to Platoon. Platoon is, of course, the main organizers of this event, and you guys should be following them. Let me just double check here. You guys should be following Platoon on at least Twitter, you know, maybe keeping an eye out for any other events that they do host. Again, they're a great team, and fun facts, Tommy Gunn, who's in the chat, is actually, I believe, the manager of Platoon. He's the person that did reach out to me and was like, Papi, cast. Cast, but for I'm posting the Twitter in their Twitter in, or their X in the Twitch chat. And yeah, he reached out, and Tommy Gunn, I mean, we've interacted before. I could be mistaken, but I'm pretty sure Tommy Gunn played in our events in the past, like in amateur events, for like back in the day for like diamond players, for Ducklings Open, for example. So long history, and yeah, he reached out. He was like, Papi, do you want to cast? I'm like, of course. Hey, do you even have to? You didn't even have to tell me what I'm going to be casting. I'll cast, Papi. I'll cast. Yeah. And we were able to make this happen, bring this together. And it was a great event. It was a lot of fun, a lot of really good matches. If you missed out on Euro Cup yesterday, I recommend it. I highly recommend checking out the Euro Cup yesterday for day number 1. Some really, really amazing matches were had there, and they will eventually be uploaded to YouTube. Also, a big shout out to Kuro. Kuro did put together the scenes and the overlays and made everything look as nice as it does. I mean, the overlays were made, of course, by the Platoon team. Don't get me, I don't want to take away from them. Really cool graphics. Hold on, can I show it off? Can I? Oh, look, it's animated back there. You can't really see it because it's behind the webcams, but it's beautiful. Look at it. It's Earth. Welcome to Earth. But yeah, shout out to Kuro, shout out to Tommy Gunn as well, of course, in the chat for allowing this event to happen, and I hope you can see more. I hope, from my understanding, this is maybe the first time that you've been hosting an event like this, but, you know, maybe we can see this a little bit more regularly. It was a lot of fun, it was a great experience, and maybe next time we can even have more of the European scene get involved as well. I know there were some players that didn't realize this was happening, and Ewa, like, at the last second was like, let me in, Papi, let me in, I want to play. It's like, man, you're too late, you're half an hour too late, what's going on? It was a lot of fun. Was a lot of fun. So yeah, big shout out to Tommy Gunn and everyone behind the team at Platoon. With that, we are going to be going on a short break. Going to be going on a very short break, and when we return, we will have a bit of a replay cast of the upper semifinals of AqueroN versus Wayne. So I am excited. I want to sink my teeth into it. I want to see what happened. Also, I don't want to gloss over this person, but a shout out to Shameless. Shameless had a standout performance here. He may not have won. He may have gone down in the finals, but damn, did he go down swinging, and did he have the run of his life? Quickly switching our scenes over. Like Shameless, he took down Art, he took down Lord GG, he took down GG Machine as well in a best of 3, went all the way to the ace match. Coming into this tournament, my eyes were on some of these other big names. They were on Nikic, they were on Art, they were on Extra Striker or GG Machine to make it to the finals, but out of all of them, Shameless came out on top instead, and he's a player that's really gone kind of under the radar for me. I remember casting Shameless years ago when he was still a Masters player. I remember casting him when he was more of an amateur player, like in these online amateur team league matches, like the Alpha Star League or the Berserker Team League and stuff like that. Or even in our events. I'm pretty sure Shameless played in like MSO, Masters 1 Open before, which was our Bronze to Masters 2 tournament years ago. So yeah, it's really cool to see him just rise through the ranks and improve so much as a player, and yeah, actually, you know, show that here in a big tournament like this. Did fall in the end to AqueroN, but I mean, hey, he took some games, made him work for it. GG, well played, and he is in the money. This event was very top heavy, top two to get paid out, quite a hefty payout as well. 400 USD for AqueroN, 100 for Nameless, or 90 for Nameless, 300 for AqueroN. I apologize. Sorry, it's 400 in total. Math, Papi, math. 300 and 100. So yeah, really good stuff. Really good stuff here. But yeah, with that, we're going to be going on a short break, and when we return, we will have one more series for you. So stay tuned. Stay tuned. Be back soon. Be back soon. Bye.